afternoon or evening, whenever this thing uploads to everybody. I'm gonna start this out like this, and I'll get into some of the stuff that I want to talk about here. In 1988, the rock band Queensryche put out a concept album called Operation Mindcrime, which is way, way, way before its time. It was 1988. But if you listen to the album now, you look at the lyrics of a lot of the songs, we've basically been living Operation Mindcrime for probably about the last 5+ years, I'd say. And the song, the album first starts out with a song called Revolution Calling. And there's a particular lyric in that song that's very relevant to today and about what I'm about and what I'm about to get into. And there's a lyric that goes like this in the song. I used to trust the media to tell us the truth. But now I see the payoffs everywhere I look. Who can you trust when everyone's a crook? And then it goes into the chorus. Revolution calling, there's a revolution calling you. Well, anyway, back in 1991, when I saw this band in concert, I just returned from Desert Storm, still in the Navy, went with a guy from the barracks from Pensacola. We drove to New Orleans, Louisiana, the Lakefront Arena, and we saw this band that was really on top of their game at that time. Best concert I've ever seen in my life. And anyway, I wasn't familiar with this at the time, this Operation Mindcrime album and concept and everything to it. But as I listened to it over the years, and I listened to the lyrics, I listened to the songs, the music, and people can judge me all you want to, I don't care. But as I listened to it, throughout the years and so forth, I see that we're living Operation Mindcrime now, okay? Because everything that was basically predicted in Operation Mindcrime, this concept album from 1988, written by the lead singer Jeff Tate and their guitarist Chris DeCarmo and so forth, we're living it now. We're living it. So the reason I say that is you might want to take notes on this, okay? Because you're never going to get the truth from the media. Not faux news, not any of it. Definitely not from the dumpster regime and the government. This really is very upsetting and angering. Is that a word? Makes you angry. Ticks you off. Whatever. Okay? And it's not surprising. It shouldn't be surprised that we're lied to by our government, the dumpster regime, the media, all the time. That's I mean, we're not for. We get that. We're lied to constantly, okay? You want the truth, you got to go to channels like John Storm on YouTube, Israeli News Live, Stephen Ben Danoon, this particular video. Check out the one he just uploaded. Talked about a U.S. warship was hit by Iran. I'll get into that in a minute. John Storm, the one that was uploaded about an hour ago, can't remember the name of it. Prepper News, Nate put out a longer video yesterday, but a lot of great information in that. Redacted, interviewed Colonel McGregor yesterday. Very good interview. That's how you're going to get the truth of things. Well, John Storm's video, he literally talked about how apparently we've got a lot more U.S. casualties than what they're telling us. Shocking. Color me shocked there, right? Big shock. They lied to us about how many casualties we have. Imagine that. Of course they did. But here's what I didn't expect. The amount, according to the information he received and reported on. The amount could be 1,000, if not more. And how do people know this? Oh, that's conspiracy theory. Those are lies. The media would have told us. The dumpster regime would have. Would they really? Do you think they would really admit that we've lost all of these American casualties in this war that they started? No, of course not. They're never going to tell us the truth. You got to find it yourself. But like I mentioned in my Substack that I put out earlier this morning, which I think is my best one personally, is less than an hour, definitely my shortest one. But anyway, I talked about this. And I told people, it's amazing to me how things get confirmed so quickly now. It doesn't take long at all. Hours, days, maybe a week at the most. It doesn't take long at all now. Because why? What did I say in the Substack? I said, this is how people are going to find out. They're going to find out through their family members. Because this is how people know that their family member is possibly deceased. And it's very simple. Because mom and dad can't get a hold of their kids. Husbands can't get a hold of their wives, vice versa. Family members Loved ones can't get a hold of each other anymore. Before they were talking, before they could communicate. So much different than way back where you had to use landlines and payphones. Nowadays, you can communicate all kinds of ways. They can't get a hold of their loved ones. Now, people say, oh, well, they've gone dark and everything else. Possibly, maybe. But if you watch John Storm's video and the nurses or the medical personnel, the people that are familiar with Landstuhl, Germany, one of the bases that our military gets treated at, apparently, the truth is we've got a lot more casualties that they're willing to tell us and willing to admit. Stephen Benoon's video, Israeli News Live, talks about it is possible, I'm not saying even likely, it's possible that the Abraham Lincoln has been hit. Not sunk, but hit. And I say possible, because I don't know for sure, and neither does he. But say, for instance, that's true. Well, like Hank from God's Soldiers Ministry said earlier in his video, "It's Over," which was the title I was going to use. But now I'm not going to do that. Now I'm just going to say, basically people just don't know it yet. But that's pretty much what it is. People just don't know it yet. Say, for instance, the Lincoln was hit. Right? Not sunk, but hit. Well, how much longer do you think it has? How much longer do you think we have? See, so say that's the beginning of the fiery kickoff event. Say it's finally arrived. Just say, for instance, that's happened. How much time do you really think we have now? See, people talk about midterms, and they talk about the summer, and they talk about this and that. Man, I'm talking about March 2026. All right, because it's only March 6th, I'll think about the summer and the midterms. I don't give a rip about the midterms. I'll think about that later down the road. What about the troops in harm's way now, at sea, on ship? Okay, here's another one. Apparently YouTube's finally stopped punishing me. So I can actually upload a lot more and I can share more things, links and whatever that I could before. People are sending me stuff from X and all this stuff all the time. And I previously told somebody earlier that did that. I said, that's fine. But I was like, this is over. People just don't know it yet. Well, apparently it appears, this is why the dumpster really wants the Kurds to pick a side or whatever, because it appears, according to information coming out, on X, take it for what it's worth, is that they're trying to push the troops in. We're trying to get a coalition together, and they want ground troops. They want to try to push the ground troops in. Find out a way. Operation Desert Storm 2. Stage. Form the coalition. Get everybody together. Get everybody, on the same page in there. Start, invading the area, occupying the area with troops, and then get ready for another stupid operation, Operation Epic Fury 2 or Fist of Fury or whatever they want to call it, okay? And, and then push the troops in a ground invasion. That could be, I don't know, weeks, months, I don't know. Could take a while. I have no idea if they do that. The point being is, we're just playing this thing out. That's it. People just don't know. It's over. People just don't know it yet. Anyway, I got to go, but I hope you all have a good evening and a good weekend. Get out, enjoy it if you can. I know areas might get hit with tornadoes and all kinds of other horrible weather, but other areas might be decent. I don't know what to tell you, folks. You got to live life, but at the same time, you got to have your head in a swivel, too, because we're living Operation Mindcrime, I think that's what I'm going to call this. I don't know. Maybe I'll just call it that. I don't know. I'll think about it. Before I upload. Anyway, that's it. Check out those channels. Like I said, you might want to take notes or go back and listen to this. Check out those channels. Check out those videos. You'll learn a lot, and you'll get more truth from there than you ever will from Hannity and Ingraham and Megyn Kelly. She's not on Fox News anymore, Faux News, or any of these other losers on any of these other networks. They are all liars. They've all been paid off. Everyone's a crook. You got to go to people that are mostly Christian, hopefully, even if they're secular, they're not lying to you. At least I don't think they are on these other platforms and social media outlets and whatever, if you want the truth of anything. It's the only way you're going to get it. you know. Of course, the Holy Spirit, first and foremost, you know, the Lord himself, the Holy Spirit, you know. But as far as news outlets go and information goes, you got to research yourself, and you got to go to some other sources and sites to get the truth, or you'll just be confused and lied to and deceived all the time. All right, that's it. Y'all have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.